What is going on, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today I've got some more NBA news to talk about with you guys. Some very weird news if you're a Cleveland Cavalier fan, with it now currently being reported that the Cleveland Cavaliers are still trying to acquire Ben Simmons from Philadelphia, and this is all being reported by Mark Stein. Now, I have expressed that I actually think getting Ben Simmons to the Cavs may be on a right option, but I think it is not anymore. I mean, I have said this before. The Cavs, of course, ended up drafting Evan Mobley. If I was the Cleveland Cavaliers and, they wanted to get Ben Simmons, then I would have, of course, traded for Ben Simmons. I probably would have traded like Colin Sexton, Kevin Love, and a protected first-round pick. That would have probably got the deal done in my eyes, even though, yes, I know Philadelphia want like 4 future first-round picks, but they can stuff it. They're not getting that. Again, I think even Philly fans know this. But again, if I was the Cavs and I actually really wanted Ben Simmons, what I would have probably done is, actually made that trade, got rid of Kevin Love's contract, pretty much contract match for Ben Simmons, really. Then, of course, I would have gone out and basically traded that third pick. I would have probably traded it for the Warriors pick 7 and 14 that they had. I think that's pretty fair. And then would have, of course, those picks, I probably would have ended up drafting, I think some shooters. So yeah, I probably would have gone like Moses Moody or someone like that at 7. Even though I think he fell to 14 anyway. But a player like that, then at 14, I probably would have gone for someone like Corey Kispert, who's going to be, I think, like a similar type to Kyle Korver when he comes into the NBA. So that will be, that's what I would have probably done. But I think honestly at this point, this is all being reported by Mark Stein, by the way. I think Mark Stein, he is telling the truth. The Cavs will be interested in Ben Simmons, but at this point, I think it's too late. Unless you decide, alright, Jarrett Allen, who knows, maybe we want to run Mobley at the 5, then we'll trade Jarrett Allen, but Philadelphia, dude, they're not going to want Jarrett Allen. And at this point, you can't just trade Sexton and Love away for Ben Simmons, because you've really gone out in free agency and tried to make this team a lot better shooting-wise. Of course, you bring in Evan Mobley to the team, who I think could be a very good shooter in his career, whether it's the mid-range or three-point shot. And then you, of course, get Kevin Love, hopefully back from injury, who'll be your stretch 5, very good three-point shooter. Then you bring in Lauri Markkanen, who's also a very good three-point shooter here and there as well. So again, they definitely did improve their three-point shooting. If you get Ben Simmons and you trade away Sexton and Love, you're really throwing that all the way. Everything you've done in this offseason has kind of come undone now, because you'd realistically have a starting 5 of Sexton, Okoro, Simmons, Mobley, and Allen. And that team would be one of the tallest teams that I've seen in a long time, and it just wouldn't work out. There is no shooting there. Simmons and Allen are not three-point shooters. Okoro's still learning how to be a three-point shooter and wouldn't be good enough to be a three-point shooter at the shooting guard position. And then, of course, Mobley is he's a young guy. He's not going to be able to shoot consistent in his first season. And then you got Garland, who's an elite three-point shooter, I think will be next season. But you just can't rely on him by himself to be, scoring all the threes for your team. So, that's a huge worry, in my opinion, that I just don't think will end up happening. Plus, the Philadelphia 76ers, to get a deal done, we'd probably have to trade Sexton, Love, and 3 future first-round picks, because that's legitimately how much picks they want for this guy, which is absolutely insane in my opinion. I really can't see a team trading that much up for a player that sucked in the playoffs, legitimately ignored his team the whole entire offseason, didn't show any compassion at all or loyalty to the 76ers, and not just that, turned his back on a whole entire country. He promised he'd play for Australia, and he never did. That is, people in Australia don't respect that. They don't respect him anymore. I've met a bunch of Australians that are saying that they don't even accept Simmons as an Aussie anymore, which, hey, is pretty fair enough considering this guy lied to a whole entire country, 27 million people, that he'd represent them, and then didn't represent them all because he had a couple of crappy games in the playoffs and got some hate on social media. It's ridiculous. He's lost all respect. His trade value has, of course, all gone down because of those facting reasons. And the worst part is, he's not even, showing up to 76ers training camp and just completely ignoring them and requested a trade. This dude is unloyal. His trade value will not be above a protected first-round pick, a Colin Sexton, and Kevin Love. Colin Sexton could still have all-star potential here and there. And if he's playing as your designated point guard and doesn't have to worry about guarding shooting guards anymore. I think he'll be a much better player for the team. That's why he would actually do really well at Philly. I could see him averaging 25 points per game and like 5 or 6 assists, which is legitimately nearly as good as Ben Simmons' stats. Plus, they get a first-round pick and a good role player in Kevin Love. That's honestly really good for a player that is not even going to be on your team. So, yeah, no, the Cavs should not do this trade anymore. It doesn't make any sense. They should go in. They've got good shooting now. I think the Cavs might surprise some people next season. I still think they'll be bad, but I think if you bring in Lauri Markkanen and you're pretty much bringing in Kevin Love, hopefully he's healthy. And you, of course, they've done a bunch of other things here and there, like brought back Allen, drafted Mobley. I know this team will be very, very young, and its depth isn't overall great, but Ricky Rubio is another good addition, playmaker and defender. I expect the Cavs team to at least be a relatively good team, potentially here and there. But no, they should not trade for Ben Simmons. Who should Ben Simmons get traded to? I'm not even too sure. I'm assuming the Sacramento Kings. If I was the Sixers and I got offered Buddy Hield, 2 first-round picks maybe, and like Marvin Bagley, then I'm doing that deal, because really, yes, they need a point guard still, but Tyrese Maxey could be a very solid point guard for them for this season. And again, you'd probably still have to go find another ball handler here and there, but that's really not that hard to do. There are always very good point guards here and there to, you know, try and acquire. And plus, they could go out and trade for a veteran point guard. So, who that would be, I'm not exactly too sure here and there. Again, I guess Patrick Beverley could be alright. You know, he's currently sitting on the Timberwolves. If they offered up a couple second-round picks to get him, I'm sure the Timberwolves would oblige to that. But hey, it's going to be real interesting. Of course, if you haven't already, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel for all the latest NBA news and NBA content. Of course, don't forget to subscribe to my gaming channel and my IRL/vlog channels. And of course, don't forget to check out my podcast as well if you haven't already, which I will all link them in the description down below. But of course, don't forget to comment your thoughts and opinions on the 76ers and the Cavs. Could they get a trade done with Ben Simmons? Do you reckon they will? Do you reckon they won't? Of course, I would very much like to hear all of your thoughts and opinions on this down below. But as I was saying, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and comment. And I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.